All right. Good afternoon, IHSA football family. How you doing? This is Coach Big Pete of DeepDishFootball.com. Right now, we're going to do offensive linemen for the class of 2022 on my 2021 watch list. Make sure you check it out on DeepDishFootball.com. It's on the link of Coach Big Pete's watch list. You'll see it again. Just a quick reminder. Names are going to be added weekly, monthly, starting at the end of March, going into April. And again, COVID killed a lot of scouting, no football being played, but this spring football season helps me out a lot. Names will be added in the whole shebang. Now, let's talk about the class of offensive line class of 2022. And again, no rankings. This names aren't rankings. It's no specific order, none of that stuff. This is just a list of offensive linemen that have made my watch list so far, class of 2022. An offensive lineman, make sure I have your information and fill out the Deep Dish Football recruiting questionnaire as well. So, let's get started, shall we? Class of 2022 offensive lineman. Yaser Al-Awadi, Maine East. He's got a great frame and another offensive lineman that literally went up the charts last year, and especially end of 2019 into 2020 winter season. College coaches absolutely love. Kid that's already got some offers. He's going to pick more offers. Definitely a kid to watch. Max Jablonski, and then he's a top. I consider him a top 3 all lineman in the state of top 5 all lineman in the state of Illinois. Max Jablonski, Warrenville South, tough nosed kid, built like a tank. Going to rise later into the spring and summer. Kumar, big frame kid. A lot like you could see in, again, a late spring riser, summer riser, when he gets that football action, especially when he transfers from Schaumburg to Montini. He's at Montini now. Look out for him, especially the first 3 weeks of the season in the spring season. Jesse Mendoza, Nutrair, big name to look out for. He could be a late emerging name as well. Nathan VanDeWoestyne, hopefully I probably got that wrong, from Geneseo. Played tight end, played a little bit defensive end, an athlete, but now he's going strictly onto that offensive lineman. He's another kid to watch. Great frame. Again, we'll see how much weight he gains and muscle mass he gains. That's going to be interesting. Quinn Hurley, Naperville Central. Absolutely love this kid. This is basically wait and see till we get to the summer. But Quinn Hurley, you got to keep an eye out for him from Naperville Central. I'll be definitely watching some of his pass blocking this spring as we get into the spring season as well. DeAndre, Sisson, Kenwood, absolutely one of the smarter linemen that we have as a recruit for 2022. I love his field vision, and I like his extension. Great handwork. DeAndre Sisson's definitely a kid to keep an eye out for from Kenwood. Greg, and I apologize for murdering last names. Again, you know that I murder last names. I cannot pronounce worth shit. So just to warn you guys. Greg Fotinopoulos from Wheaton North, another kid that I like into that bracket of Max Jablonski of Wheaton Warrenville South, Wheaton Warren North. Fotis, again, tough-nosed kid. Great center to low gravity. Definitely a name to watch. Danny Leibrandt from Glenbrook South. Tall kid, again, great extension, great handwork. He's gonna a little raw, but he's definitely a kid to watch as well. Jonathan Young from Andrew, very interesting. See how he develops going into that summer date, and when he gets that spotlight shown on him by college coaches, will be very interesting how he performs. Jonathan Young, I already talked about that. Paolo Gennarelli from St. Charles North, tough-nosed kid. Very impressed with him in the summer, last summer. His work at showcases and camps was, mostly showcases, was very impressive. He's definitely going to be a late riser. But again, St. Charles North has got another great lineman in Paolo. Peyton Mazur from Christopher High School. I forgot the full name. There's like 3 different names to the high school. Small school kid, but definitely a kid to keep an eye out for. Big body, Again, can knock you on your ass like it's nobody's business. Tyler Ukin of Mohammed Seymour. He is my one of my most underrated offensive linemen in this class. 6'8", 6'7", if I'm not mistaken. Great frame. Very tall. We got to see very raw, though. We got to see the maturation process and how much muscle he can build onto his body. It'll be very interesting in Tyler Ukin. Rocco Valenti, I consider him a top 10 lineman in the state of Illinois. Another tough-nosed kid, another CCL kid, and again, that St. Rita offensive line is special. Ryan Borsimi, Mount Carmel offensive lineman, it's wrestling star as well. What do I like about wrestlers and offensive linemen? Again, it is leverage. That is the most beautiful thing in the world, is leverage. And I love my wrestlers that play offensive line. It's the greatest thing, so check it out. And defensive line as well. Jalen Caldwell, Phillips, name that's getting up. It's going to be basically, we'll see what we see in the spring. He's definitely a kid to look out. He's a top 10 lineman as well. Thomas Shipman from Niles, Notre Dame, another top 10 lineman. Another spotlight player till we see what the college coaches seeing him for the spring. His spring season is going to be huge for him. Nicolas Galiagos from Nico Valley can play defensive line and offensive line. Tough-nosed kid, hard worker. Definitely a kid you want to keep an eye out for. Damian Thomas from Phillips, just like his counterpart, Jalen Caldwell from Phillips. Again, they want to see what they can see in him in the spring. David Freeman from Libertyville, big body, hard work ethic. He's definitely another kid to watch out for. Melvin Presley, another top 5 lineman. East St. Louis. You gotta watch this kid. I'm excited to see his game film from his first 2 weeks in the spring. It'll be very interesting to see. Joshua Sander, Hinsdale South. Huge summer. Blew a lot of scouts away out of the park in the summer of 2020. Definitely college coaches keep an eye out on him. Luke Dalton, Marion Central. He's gotten some offers. He's going to get more big offers. I see him as a Power 5 steal. I believe he can play in that Power 5, that upper echelon of offensive line. I think he can play there. He's definitely a kid to watch as well. Danny McGuire, there's another Power 5 player from Marist. Hell of a kid, hard worker, applies himself. And again, CCL offensive lineman. And college coaches love that CCL offensive line. Clayton Leonard, Iroquois West. Again, small school. See what happens. We'll see what happens. He's coming back from an injury that was like in 2019. But we'll see. This is definitely going to be a big season for him, especially into spring. Jimmy Liston, Fenwick. I have him as my number 2 offensive lineman in the state of Illinois. Again, wrestler, offensive line, Chicago Catholic League. And when you mix that all together, you got a hell of an offensive lineman. Again, good center, low gravity, great leverage. He is a top lineman in the state, number 2, I consider. Haven Hatfield, Tuscola, another small school offensive lineman, but you must keep an eye out for, especially as we get into the fall. Matthew Harris, Marmion Academy, another lineman we're going to keep in it, especially hopefully when we have that college camp season, it'll be very interesting to see what he does. Nick Siren, big body. Want to see more, especially with his mobility and athleticism. We'll see what happens in this COVID season. Jack McGarry, underrated offensive lineman. Pay attention to this young man. Jack McGarry is a kid that you want to keep an eye out for, no doubt about. I love the way he applies himself, the way he works, especially, again, how low he gets, and, again, ass to that ground, like we need from offensive linemen, like a bear shitting in the woods. And Jack McGarry is one of them. Keep an eye out for Jack McGarry. Thomas Hubbard, Bartlett. Again, tough SOB, knock you on your ass. Great athleticism, too. And again, good extension. Still a little raw. We'll see what happens in the spring. Joshua Sears, Libertyville. Another star offensive lineman for Libertyville. Definitely another player. Could be an FCS steal. And Valen Erickson, another top 3 lineman out of the state of Illinois, out of St. Rita. Again, St. Rita's offensive line is loaded. Now, again, more names will be added for this class of 2022 list. Make sure I have your information on the Deep Dish Football recruiting questionnaire filled out on deepdishfootball.com. Again, my email is coachbigpetefp@gmail.com. coachbigpetefp@gmail.com if you have any questions. Please follow Coach Big Pete and Deep Dish Football on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. If you like my work, feel free to leave a tip via PayPal link below. I'll put the PayPal link below. Thank you so much, and this was the offensive line for class of 2022.